How many nights have you guys been unable to sleep because there is just so much going on in your head? Maybe it's your job, the next day routine, thinking of your future, whatever it might be. You lay awake with your eyes closed, and before you know it, 30 minutes have already gone by and you can't sleep, and now you're stuck with 5.5 hours of sleep before your 12-hour day at work. Your mind wanders. All those thoughts that you shoved to the side during the day come out in full force during the only time of day where your mind is free from distraction, or at least it should be. And what's the answer to this issue? Well, for the last 4 years, the answer for me personally has been journaling. I know men, most of all, don't want to hear it. I think journaling has been almost looked at like keeping a diary, and guys see that as something girls should do. Like it's feminine, or it's vulnerable, like, and guys aren't supposed to be emotional, like that sort of thing. But I mean, let's be honest, guys. Some of the most accomplished people in all of history have had a journal for their thoughts. I mean, Marcus Aurelius, Charles Darwin, Da Vinci, some of the greatest minds to ever exist have had a journal or some sort of diary. And here's why I think journaling is the easiest way to get your mind focused, back on track, and cure someone who might be lost in their life. Now, I'm not saying this is a for sure 100% guarantee working method. I'm just saying that here is maybe an alternative or a choice or a habit in your life that you can make that can make your life easier, your choices, your decisions, make your mind a little bit less stressed all the time. I started journaling 4 years ago. I thought it was dumb at first and I felt silly just writing random things in a tiny leather book. But as I got more into it, I realized it had become part of my nightlife. At the end of the night, sitting down for even 10 minutes and just putting thoughts to paper. Doing this was probably the only outlet available I had for my emotions. I've never really talked to anyone about how I feel. I'm very personal about my emotions to just about everybody, friends and family. So a journal was my own dumping ground for all of my emotions. I mean, you just bottle so much up over time without letting any of it be released. It weighs on you when there's no way to express how you feel. A journal allows you to put down your unfiltered thoughts. There's no one there to judge you, to laugh at you, to think you're crazy. Nothing. It's just you and your playground of paper that's yours to make your own. Your emotional state is something to be conscious of. Why you got mad at something, why you're sad, how you reacted. These are all important to take into consideration if you want to elevate your mental state. I mean, I seriously think journaling has allowed me to process and digest my emotions more than anything else in the world. It's real, tangible evidence of how I was feeling at a certain time and how your brain can now read and interpret it rather than have it floating around in the abyss of your head. Now, I want to go back to what I mentioned in the beginning with sleeping because it's a problem I had for a lot of years. Staying awake too late, not because you're on your phone or anything, but because your mind keeps racing. The thoughts come and go and they just won't quit. Think about it. Bedtime is probably the only small window of the day where you have no other external stimuli, meaning your phone or music, video games, movies, basically anything you consume. So now, when your mind is left by itself, it's forced to think about all the repressed thoughts throughout the day that are muffled by the things you're consuming all day. It's the same thing in the shower. That's why everyone says their best thoughts are in the shower, because most likely, you're not watching a movie or YouTube in the shower. It's just you decompressing and allowing yourself to think for even a few minutes. As soon as I started journaling, I very rarely have those long nights of pondering in my bed. My mind has already done its thinking for the day, and I released them into the world. That's how I interpret it. It has no reason to keep me up at night because I now have an outlet for my thoughts rather than keeping them in my head. Think of it as a place for your mind to take a break, to reflect and get its needed rest from being stimulated probably the entire day, especially if you work in a office job, you're staring at a screen all day under fluorescent light, talking to people all day, maybe you have music, so you really don't get a chance for your brain to reset and rest. How many of you have wanted to write a story but thought it's not interesting enough, or God, you can't write at all? Well, here you go, guys. Here is how you can make a story without any work needed besides the life you've already lived. A journal to me is also a retelling of my life, how I felt on a certain day, what I did that made me happy, what made me sad. It is able to give me a journey through my emotions. It's your own personal story. I find myself going back and looking at early entries in my journal a lot, like almost every time I open it. It's a really humbling experience to see progress you've made or just maybe funny parts from the past you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. It's almost like being able to go back in time and see what you were up to a year ago. It helps you remember key moments and events throughout your life. To me, it's a journey of self-reflection that only you will ever see, which I think is super important for anyone that wants to better themselves throughout their life, because heroes always have a great story. Now, I think the biggest hurdle stopping people from journaling is the big question: what do I even write in here? I mean, to be honest, most people probably have not written down an entire page of anything since they were in high school, which is fair because, I mean, there's not much of a total need for it anymore now that we have our phones and people just don't write anymore. I'll give you guys a quick overview of what I write in mine to maybe help you get started or generate some sort of idea. First of all, there are no rules. This is your journal to do whatever you want with, and I know it seems daunting at first because there's no guideline, but this is the best part. It's freeing. You don't have to change what you say or how you say it because no one else is reading this. You can sketch in it, write a movie review, hell, even just write the same word over and over again. I've seen people on Instagram write the word journal in their journal till it stopped feeling like a real word. It's your book. But mainly I write about what I did that specific day or a recap of the last few days if I didn't write in it, because I don't write in it every day. Some days there's just not a need. Nothing big happened. You're not in a weird emotional state. This doesn't have to be an everyday thing. I really, at the end of the day, just try to put my emotions and grander thoughts on the paper, like if I'm feeling lost or I'm down in life. I also like to write about where I'm writing it, like the environment around me, the color of the sky, all the small details we forget about every day. Like I do it a lot when I'm in coffee shops or maybe I'm in a hotel lobby. You guys know you can just walk into 5-star hotels and sit in the lobby. You don't need to have a reservation or a room or anything. You can just walk in there and it's a very relaxing atmosphere actually. Then I move on to what I did that day. Maybe I had a banging coffee this morning and I want to remember the specific order I got so I can come back to it later another day. Something that I've been doing recently that's actually been making it a lot more fun. I've just been gluing receipts and tickets that I got into my journal. To me, it's a cool piece of like a physical memory that really cements what you did. And it also makes your journal look a lot more appealing. Like there's an aesthetic to it, you know? You can make it look a little fancied up, little glittered up. You'll find your own rhythm when you start writing. No two people write the exact same way. So if you stick with it, you'll end up finding a tempo and a routine you have when you write every time you do it. Also, to preface, you can't suck at writing in a journal. It's just impossible. It is the most subjective activity available because it's just you. Like I said earlier, there's no one there to judge you. You can't suck at it. There are no rules. Whatever thoughts you're having, just get them down on paper. The way I started out journaling was I set a 10-minute timer on my phone, and whatever popped into my head went on that damn paper. There was no hesitation or being embarrassed. Whatever thought that came to me was going to be written, no matter what it was. Maybe it was an embarrassing memory you had back in high school. That's going on the paper, at least for me. This helps you get into the habit of just getting anything down, no matter how stupid it seems to you. It is getting your foot in the door and getting you started. That's the biggest thing, just getting that first step, that first page down on the book. If you're someone who is creative or has a lot of ideas that seem to escape by the end of the day, then I think journaling is for sure a must. The amount of times I've had a cool Twitter post in my head or somewhere I wanted to go and I forget it entirely is ridiculous. I probably have thousands of great ideas that I completely lost to time because I never wrote them down. I never made an honest effort to track them so I could come back to them. Writing these down as soon as you get them is like catching a butterfly in a net. It can't fly away from you, and now you have access to it whenever you want. So given that, I would say journaling is beneficial for your creativity too, because now you have an organized account of these great ideas you otherwise would have forgotten. With all that being said, you might not enjoy journaling even after trying it for a week or more, and that's totally okay. Not everything is for everyone, but I really think that for someone trying to make a big change in their life or working on a massive project, it takes away a lot of unnecessary stress and clutter from your mind. Let me know down below if you guys have ever journaled before and if it did anything for your life. You know, maybe you've tried it in the past and you didn't love it, but you felt something. There was something in you that wanted to come back to it. Or if you guys have a lot of experience with it, put some methods down below that help you keep up with it on a regular basis. Thank you guys. Have a good one.